you saw out of number 10?
Yeah, we did not move the ball very well in the first half. Obviously, it's everybody could see that. Defensively, Baltimore did a nice job. They got a very good defense, and hats off to them. We just had some missteps, whether it was a penalty, somebody getting covered or what have you. There's a lot of things that go on into a bad football play and poor execution on the offense, and everybody's going to point to Robert, I'm sure, but really it was a total team thing. We had a couple of chances for some plays, and we didn't make them. Nobody played good enough in that first half to
didn't run really with that first team offense that whole first half. How concerned are you about that unit as a whole?
I'm not concerned right now. They've done enough that I've seen that I have a lot of positives to draw from, not just the first half of a football game. Obviously, when you're in the third preseason game on the road in a short week, you would like to have, some positive things going into the regular season. It didn't happen, Like I said, a short week. It's against the Baltimore on the road, and not a lot of good things happen for our offense, but we're not going to panic, and we're going to execute when it counts.
Jay, what do you say to Robert after this game and moving forward, and how do you keep his confidence up when he struggles like the way
He's
he
got to
did
move
today?
on. He's got to move on. We got to do a better job of getting him in rhythm of getting some completions early, getting some first downs. We're so bad on first and second down, I think, that kept us into some third down and longs. And you get third down and long against Baltimore, it's Doomerville and Suggs, and those guys rushing the quarterback. It's not fun on anybody. Poor job on first and second down, and that's starts with me, the play caller, and then leads on to everybody else. So we just got to do a better job to try to get some things going drive-wise, and it starts on first down. We did a poor job.
Jay, obviously, you've talked about the fact that it's going to be a process and it's not going to be overnight. But as a former quarterback, would you have liked him to be, at this point, further along than it appears he is?
I think he is further along than it appears that he is. I think based on his production today, I think a lot of people will be saying he's not far along, but I think he's a lot further along than people will give him credit for. And, all you guys have to look at is the practice or the game tape, and it wasn't very good by anybody. But I've seen him practice, and I've seen him come a long way, and I feel confident about where he is. But obviously today didn't show how much he's come forward, but hopefully we have some time before Houston.
What sort of impact do you think Jason Hatcher made? Any comments on his contribution?
It was good to see him out there. It was good to see him out there in his first game experience, or with us, and got a sack. It looked like. The only negative is he's got to get himself into playing shape, and you can see that he was a little winded out there. But he's a force to be reckoned with. I think he's a great addition to our football team, and we just got to make sure we work his butt off the next couple of weeks to get him ready for Houston, because he did look a little winded. I think he'll admit it to you.
Jay, it's been a foregone conclusion that your starters wouldn't play in the fourth preseason game, but based upon what you saw tonight, does that have to change now?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, we've been together a long time with OTAs and training camp, and we've seen enough out of them, I think, that we feel good about who our starters are. And the big thing is you don't want to force another drive or two down their throats and lose a key player. So I think it's time for the backups, the twos, to play and see what they can do, because they're going to have to play some key snaps this year as well. So obviously you want to see more positive production from your group. Didn't happen. We'll just have to wait till Houston.
Some would say there is, how could they, I guess, get prepared for Houston in practice when you need game reps?
They've got game reps. Yeah, they've got game reps. They've got a few.
What you saw tonight, what would you say to someone who would say there is no way they could be ready for Houston based upon what you saw in the game?
We see them every day. Like I said, in OTAs and training camp, we've seen them in practice, and we feel good where we are. And obviously we're frustrated with the production that we had today, but we'll move on and get ready for the regular season like everybody else is going to do.
Just on injury, I guess Morgan Moses appears to be the most serious. Also, Rakpo went out for a while, and Corey Lichtensteiger left the game for a little bit there in the second quarter.
Yeah, we just put Chester at center and Spencer Long at right guard to get him some work at center in case in the regular season, if Corey's goes down, Chester will be our backup center. Most likely. Could be that's one case scenario. So you want to give him some snaps at center. Rakpo sprained his ankle, but it's very minor. And the only other one was Minifield had a hamstring strain. And Moses has a slight MCL sprain. Mild.
What else?
Yeah. What do you think about Rack's preseason to this point? Kerrigan's made a huge impact out there. I know the game film, you got to watch the game film to really make a determination, but What do you think about the impact thus far that he's made?
I feel good about Rakpo and where he is. You know, he had the mild ankle sprain, like I said, but I think I can feel the pass rush out there. I feel the pocket collapsing, even though you might not have 6 sacks, but I feel like there's pressure and there's constant pressure on the quarterbacks. And we did a great job on defense today. I was very excited to see that. And some games it might be like that. We might have to win some games 13-10. And to have Rakpo and Kerrigan playing and Hatcher and Neal and Golston and these guys in the middle, and the linebackers are playing well. The cover guys are starting to cover a little bit better. They're starting to get some confidence. They're starting to get on a roll. It's going to be very necessary for us to play great defense early on in the season, most likely.
2 specific players. What'd you think of Keenan and Trent Murphy? Not only the sack, but that chase from behind on the little screen.
It was good to see them run. They both can run and they both hustle. They both play hard. That's what I was very excited about, our defense flying around. It's fun to watch them. Special teams did some good things also. So there's a lot to be positive about this game. Obviously, offensively is where the fantasy football points are, and it didn't work out that way. But we can win a lot of games. If we play very good special teams and we play good defense, we'll win a lot of games.
Thanks, Coach. All right,
All right.